Hi everyone. Thanks for coming to our roadmap session on investing for secure and modern user experiences. Of course, we've probably seen this slide a couple of times during this conference, so there's a lot of information here, but you kind of know what this is about. So my name is Jade, and I'm the product manager for user experiences at Okta.
Hi, I'm Beth Wang. I'm the product manager for admin experiences at Octa.
So what is the experiences team and what do we do? So you're probably familiar with all of these different SKUs which you use in your organization to mix and match to solve your use cases and your problems. So we are the team that enables you to implement these controls to have the right access for your organizations. And we're the team that enables your end users to make the most of these products and reach their best productivity and security. We kind of think of it like an orchestra. You have all these different products which you pick to implement in your organization to fix your use cases and problems. And you're the admin, you're the conductor who drives the vision and the implementation for your company.
As the conductor, you as an admin have several tools at your fingertip that we've provided you to best enable your orchestra within your organization to perform. Within the admin application, we have tools such as delegated administration, feature management, as well as our admin dashboard and general information architecture. Outside of the admin application, there's additional tools available to you, such as our public roadmap, so you can stay up to date on the features that are in the pipeline at Octa.
And of course, as any conductor, you have a riveted audience of end users who get to appreciate all your hard work as you roll out Octa. And for your end users, there's a lot of touch points that they have with Octa. Of course, they have the sign-in widget, the sign-in page they see every day. But you have the core SSO products that we invest and build to make your end users successful, such as the Octa dashboard, Octa plugin, and Octa mobile. And of course, the security experiences, the security features like Octa Verify and Device Trust. So the end user touches so many parts of Octa as you roll it out. So the key message is that at Octa, we really believe that usability and security are equally important when it comes to experiences. And that's kind of how we have designed our roadmap that I want to share with you today.
Let's start by taking a look at security and the features available to you here, beginning with delegated administration. When Octa started, we had single sign-on, one product, an OIN network, and really to manage that organization and your functionality within Octa, you needed a super admin and maybe an org admin role. As we introduced additional products, we also introduced additional delegated administration roles to give you finer-grained control over exactly what features within the admin application your users had access to. This increased over time. We now have an help desk admin role, read-only, and we've heard from you that there's need for an additional role, somebody who has access only to reports and to run syslog queries. For this, we have a new reporting role, which is currently in beta. Let's take a look at how all of these different roles interact within your organization. You have a global IT lead, somebody who needs access to all of Octa and the information within it, and for that, you would have the super admin role. You also have a directory admin, somebody who needs access to agents and a lot of the information within your Octa instance, but may not need access to everything. They would be an org admin. Then we get a little bit more fine-grained, somebody who's a department admin. This user in your organization may be somebody who runs a specific location or region. For that, they would need access to be a help desk admin with their resource bound to a specific group within your org. And the new reporting role could also be beneficial, so they can run reports and syslog queries for those users. For some of you, a department admin may be somebody who owns specific applications, such as all of the finance applications within your org. For that, you could grant them the application role, scoped to the applications that they manage, as well as a group admin role, so they have access to manage the users within those applications. And then finally, we can now address the use case of an auditor, somebody who needs access to run reports and syslog queries, but only in a read-only fashion and not take further actions within your org. While introducing this reporting role is great and addresses many of your use cases, we've also heard from many of you that you have needs that don't fit directly within how we've defined these roles. What you consider a help desk admin may be different than the person sitting next to you. For that, we're introducing custom admin roles. As you can hear, this is actually one of our most asked for features within the Help Center ideas, so something many of you are looking forward to. With custom admin roles, you'll have the ability to define specific permissions that are assigned to a role that you create. These granular permissions give you more control to ensure that you have a least privileged model for who has access to what within your organization. We'll also extend the current functionality for resource binding to these custom roles, so you can define which users, groups, and applications these new roles have access to. We also want to give you the visibility and clearly be able to see exactly what permissions each of these custom roles has, and that will be available for you within the UI as well. So where do we take it from here? I touched on our near term, our report role, and our custom admin roles. The future of this is extensive. So we're also looking to extend profile attribute permissions. So in addition to managing or defining with granular permissions who has access to manage users, you'll be able to define which specific attributes within a profile a specific admin can edit versus view. We'll also extend the resources available for bindings. This can include items such as reports. So in the future, you may have a specific individual that needs access to a specific report only. We'll also extend condition-based assignment, so you can define which user within which network, for example, has access to your admin application. This functionality is all within the bounds of your individual org. How do we extend this to look beyond the bounds of an individual org for multi-org management? Looking to the future, we're targeting to enable you to collaborate with your partners across your organizations as well as with your customers, so you can federate resources across each of these entities. With partners, we'll enable you to have a trusted relationship with your suppliers, your partners, and other organizations for the federation of resources. Within your organization, those of you with multi-divisional organizations leveraging a hub and spoke model, this will allow you to segregate your resources so that you have more control over the data administration as well as the users. Lastly, this opens up additional opportunities for Okta's partners to provide you with value-add services that reach you where it matters most. This, along with the other aspects of delegated administration that I shared, are the future of where we're seeing multi-org management. So now that we've talked about all these different admin roles and what's available to you, as you can tell, our product scope has increased, and as has your need for different admins. For that, we've had to introduce new tools and features to help you more effectively manage the users assigned admin roles within your organization. We do this in a couple of ways. One is ensuring that you have the tools necessary to manage admins, as well as frictionless assignment for how you grant users the admin roles. We also want to ensure that your org and your admin data is secure, as well as provide you with tools to onboard and offboard new admins effectively. Let's take a closer look at each of these. For admin management, we've recently rolled out a new admin UI. This streamlines the information that you see in an intuitive fashion. With this new admin UI, you're now able to filter and search for admins that have been assigned different roles. We also have simplified the information visible on each of the individuals assigned an admin role, so you see specifically what role they have, as well as which app instances, for example, they have access to. You now can download and export CSV of all of the admins within your organization as well. This gives you more power to audit and share this information to see when your admins last logged in, for example. One other feature you may notice here is the ability to add administrator groups. This functionality is new and allows you to leverage the same tools you have today for assigning individual admin roles, but now to groups of users. This streamlines the process for you to onboard and offboard your admins. With this functionality, you can assign an AD, Ldap, or Octa mastered group to an admin role. As you can see here, by leveraging the same tools you have available today, you can define specific roles for a group of users instead of an individual. Within the admin management UI, you have clear indication which users have been granted which roles from a group assignment. From here, we want to ensure that your data is secure within your org. How can we do that? To address this, we've introduced MFA for admin access. This requires your admins to multi-factor authenticate in order to access the admin application, ensuring that your data is secure and you have a higher security posture within your organization. We want to take it further from there, though. Today, for the MFA for admin, it's a global setting within your org. For the future, we want to introduce the admin application as a truly managed application, same as all of your other apps. That, along with new implicit groups for each of your admin roles, will give you the full power of sign-on policy to be able to define a specific policy for your different types of admins. You may have an admin user that, based on their location, you may want them to have access or not have access to the admin application. All of these features combined are really where we're taking the roadmap and the future of admin security.
So what about your end users, the people in your organization, and how is Okta keeping them secure? So our team really believes that if it's not secure, if it's not usable, it's not secure. And I'm sure all of us, as we're rolling out security policies in our organizations, we've thought about this dichotomy. Because just rolling it out is half the work. Your users have to adopt it and understand it and have the controls for them to do the right thing. And at Okta, we really listen to our users as they use our products. We read and respond to every single review they write. We proactively ask for feedback within the application as well. And some of you have allowed us to actually speak to your end users and watch your end users as they use Okta. And we're constantly tracking usage and metrics to find out how our product health is going and how your users are able to successfully go through the flows and leverage what we've been building. And that feedback has been used to guide every step of our product roadmap, from the adoption of our products, sign-in and verification experiences that they go through with Okta every day, security controls and security experiences as they use Okta, and finally the core of SSO, usability and access into the applications for them to do their best work. So the end-user security journey has a lot of chapters, and I want to kind of go through some of the highlights on the roadmap through enrollment, sign-in, management, and response. So we've all had the situation where if you roll out MFA, that a user may have left their phone at home or they've changed their device. And they realize this when they're at 10 a.m. running into a meeting and they want to get into their email or an important document as quickly as possible. So we are now allowing users to defer factor enrollment with a set time policy that you as an admin can control, balancing the urgency they need for getting access now with the security postures of doing the right thing. On sign-in, some of you probably have heard that we are really investing in a password experience, and this is coming into EA very soon. The idea that we're moving away from dependency on the passwords and allowing users to use more secure factors, such as verified push or YubiKeys, for them to get access to their applications. Also, we are building on allowing users to manage their own logins, see where their digital footprint is with Okta across all the devices and browsers, and them to be able to view, manage, and control where they're leaving their sessions. And finally, what can a user do when they do see something suspicious or do see something unusual in their accounts. Well, now we are allowing users to report that suspicious activity and give that granular control for them to lock down their account, reset their password, and also give you, the admins, the security automation to recover as quickly as possible. So those are some of the highlights on the end-user security functionality that we're introducing, giving users the ability to not only delightfully sign in to where they need to be as quickly and securely as possible, but also giving the control back in their hands to manage your data.
Now that we've talked about the features on the roadmap for security within your users, let's talk about how we're balancing that with a modern, usable experience, starting with admin self-service. My role as a product manager is to enable you as an Okta admin to be a rock star in your organization. And I can help do that by giving you tools to be successful. These include features such as our public roadmap, the feature manager within your admin application, as well as a streamlined admin app interface. So let's go into each of these, starting with the public roadmap. The public roadmap is available on the Okta Help Center, and it's been there for some time now. We continue to introduce additional features to help make this a very useful tool for you. Recently, we introduced the ability for you to follow a feature on the roadmap. When you follow a feature, you receive updates when the feature moves through the life cycle. So if you see something that's in a planned state, you're able to follow that and receive those email updates as it is available for beta, early access, etc. We also want to extend this. As I mentioned, these features are on the roadmap for your visibility. Where do we take it from there? We want to integrate these with release notes, so you have all of the information available to you on what release the feature was in and more of the details relating to those features. Today on the public roadmap, we already indicate when a feature is available for self-service, and this is functionality we're going to continue to expand on. Let's take a closer look at self-service. This is Feature Manager. It's available to each of you. It's been GA for a couple months now within the admin application under the Settings dropdown. From here, you're able to enroll in certain self-service early access features. Recent enhancements to this has included introduction of documentation links so you can access additional information and make informed decisions when you enable these features. We've also extended the types of early access features available for self-service to provide you with more tools and features that you can enable on your own. So take a look. You can check this out within your org today and take a look at all the features available to you for early access self-service. Many of you have also asked to just have these features enabled in your org. So we're also introducing auto-enroll for all early access self-service features. This is available in preview orgs, and it gives you the power to automatically have each of these early access features enabled as soon as they become available. Where do we take Feature Manager from here? So early access is great and gives you a lot of power, but we want to bring you more integrated downstream in our development process. So we're also looking to include beta features as self-service within Feature Manager. This really closes the loop on our beta program and gives you access right where you need it within your organization to get involved and share feedback with Okta early on in the development cycle. Beyond visibility to the features that we have both available for you today and in the pipeline, another self-service feature is the ability to search globally from across the admin application. This will include search across users and apps. It's currently beta and look for coming GA soon in your orgs. As I mentioned, this is search across users and applications. You can access that with hotkeys from anywhere within the admin app. And in the future, we'll extend this to include wildcard search and search across groups. Beyond visibility to features within the admin application, we're generally rethinking the admin experience. What you see here is an exercise that we did on information architecture, the general menu and navigation items available to you. We did some customer research and found that they're not intuitive. The groupings of items don't necessarily help you complete a use case or a task at hand. We've done this research and have mapped out what a new navigation menu may look like, something that's more intuitive and helps you more quickly accomplish the tasks you came into the admin application to do in the first place. Beyond this, we're also looking at how we share information with you. Today you receive notifications and messages such as thread insights. You also have tasks within the admin dashboard. You have emails for deprovisioning and locked out users. You have information that you intake, such as release notes. These are all sent through different systems. What we're looking to do is consolidate all of this information for you in one streamlined inbox, so you have one place to go to have all of that critical information serviced to you. And last but certainly not least, we're taking a critical look at the dashboard that you see when you log into the admin application. This has a lot of information on it today that many of you don't use in your day-to-day work. We want to make this information more critical, metrics that matter to you and your business. We can't rethink this experience alone though, and would love to hear from you and have your input. At the end, we'll share a link to a survey where you can sign up and get involved to help shape the future of the admin application.
So that was awesome. What about end user usability? So Okta to your end users is the front door to their productivity. It's the lobby that they get into to their applications and where they do their best work. And the world of the end users has a lot of different products that have very different use cases for your users. We have the dashboard where they single sign on and launch from their applications, and they're able to manage their accounts. We have the plugin, which is not just only for SWA applications, but our users use it as a launching pad from the keyboard and be able to quickly get into the applications without having to go to the dashboard. And of course, Okta Mobile, SSO on the go. As people are working more and more from their phones, we want to enable our users in their workflows to get to their applications as quickly and seamlessly as possible. And Okta Verify, our MFA tool, to help protect their data more securely. So let's kind of talk about all of these different parts of the product and what is coming for your end users this year. So we are really investing in the mobile experience for our users. We really care about when we think about how your users work. They're checking emails on the go. They're probably reviewing a ticket that they got while they're waiting in line for a coffee. So there's a lot of chapters of the user experience of a mobile user that we are looking at this year that I'm really excited to talk about. First of all, we are implementing a new sign-in flow on Okta Mobile, using the sign-in widget that everyone's really familiar with to drive the new sign-in experience. And as part of that, we are really excited that as part of this, users can now self-service unlock and reset their passwords on the go, a highly requested functionality that we've heard from our customers. Also, what about when users actually SSO? They not only want to do it through Okta Mobile, they probably have native apps, they also have in-app browsers or system browsers. We are working on Okta Autofill this year, where users will be able to securely surface passwords where users need it most and they can do their best work. What about the Okta plugin? So we've talked to a lot of users and really found some really interesting things about how they like to use the plugin beyond just SWA applications. It's from productivity to self-service and driving more speed and responsiveness. So coming to GA very soon will be a plugin keyboard shortcut to help users be able to launch the plugin really quickly to be able to search their apps from the go. This will be available on Chrome and IE. We've also released a plugin account chooser, which some of you may have noticed. So especially for admins, we found that having multiple different Okta orgs, preview, production, or different orgs that you manage, we allow the plugin to help you remember and switch between all those different accounts as quickly as possible. We've also introduced a new settings page where users can now see the functionality that they have access to and also be able to troubleshoot and manage some of the settings themselves without having to go to you, the IT admin, for help. And we're really excited about this because they can also, there'll be a lot of new functionality that will be coming to this page moving forward. What about the dashboard? We've spoken to a lot of users about how they like to use the dashboard and what the purpose of the dashboard is on their everyday experience. So there's a lot of goals that our users achieve with the dashboard I want to talk about. Of course, there is adoption and onboarding, the first day experience as a user comes into your company and learns how to use the product. Then there's task-driven discovery. When users are going and going, where is my paycheck? Where do I fill my timestamps? And then I have the access of everyday applications. We can probably all relate that there are about 4 to 5 applications that you access every single day. And Octa wants to help you to get there as quickly as possible. And finally, delightful experiences. How can we help our users actually achieve task success and satisfaction as they're using Octa? So our customers, you guys have done an amazing job in writing some great collateral resources and help documents for your end users. And we want to make that process easier for new customers and also for you when you're rolling out new products to your users. So we are rewriting our user adoption toolkit to help you have the FAQs and posters and collateral to make that org change easier. And also, we are rethinking on how we can teach our users how to use the product. So we are thinking of how can we will be introducing functionality to help users during that first touch experience and onboarding guidance to learn how to make the most of Octa and customize their experience to their needs. Something that came out into GA a couple of months ago was the ability for you to leave app notes for your end users to tell them what is this app for, how to use it, and any other information you want to leave for your users. And as part of it, we've also left the ability for you to leave app notes for other admins on applications. So you can share share information such as who's the app owner, information about how to roll out the app, and any other considerations. Something that also is coming on the roadmap soon is driven around how can users get to the apps that they actually want as quickly as possible. So we are introducing enhanced search based on both OIN, default attributes, and also attributes that you as the admin can set to applications. We've seen currently you've been renaming applications in certain ways to try and help your users discover it, and we want to help you with that. Also coming on the dashboard and the plugin is we will be helping users get to the applications that they use intuitively. So we'll be surfacing quick access apps, the applications that the users use regularly, and surfacing that to the user as quickly as possible. This will be in both the dashboard and the plugin. We want to help users move away from having to sort and manage the apps into tabs. And finally, we're all pretty familiar with this end user dashboard that we've seen and loved as we use it every day. So I'm really excited to announce that this year we'll be redesigning the dashboard and the plugin. It will be both modern, intuitive, mobile responsive, and accessible first. Because we really care about helping your users be able to embrace and love Octa in your organizations. So we couldn't do all of these, design all these features without you. So we would love you and your organization to help us on this journey to design the end user dashboard for your users and how they like to use it best.
Great, thanks, Jade. So we just shared a lot of information with you on how we're looking at balancing both making your orgs, admins, and end users secure, as well as providing them with a great user experience. To recap on a couple of the roadmap items that we shared with you, starting with admin security, we talked about custom admin roles and the ability to create these, as well as the ability to assign admin roles to groups of users. For end users, we talked about keeping them secure with passwordless authentication. And on the usability side of things, for admin self-service, I touched on the future of self-service with Feature Manager. And for end users, mobile self-service and Okta autofill and the functionality you have available here, as well as quick access apps and the exciting new end user redesign. As we both mentioned, we want your help to help you make the most out of your experience with Okta. So please, if you're interested in providing us with feedback on how we can help your admins, your end users, or both, you can use this QR code or this bit.ly link to sign up and share some of your feedback with us. And with that, we'll open it up to Q&A. I believe there's some mic runners that if you have any questions, raise your hand and they'll come find you.
Thank you very much. Real fast, the feature manager as it exists today and we've put in the demo here is all about early access features and coming with some of the beta features. Is there ever a plan to expose already general available feature flags that we can manage ourselves?
Yeah, that's something we're looking at more on the long-term roadmap is extending this to additional features, GA features, so you have visibility to the specific items in your org. We haven't worked out all the details on that yet, but that's more of the long-term roadmap.
Just one more. Is there any planned changes coming to the reporting UI?
Yes, we definitely have some items in the work, more again on the long-term roadmap. There's definitely effort underway right now to look at really in more of the data collection state. So you can come meet us up here afterwards. I see our product manager for that space, and I'm sure she'd love to talk with you about it.
So we use dynamic client registration to create applications in Okta through the API. And I was wondering if we can also add user and admin notes through the API.
Users to add user notes through the API or admins to add, oh, right, I see. Currently, no, it's not available for you to add app notes through API. That's something that we've been considering on the roadmap, but we'd love to hear your use case. That's something that will be really helpful for you.
So I did like having the ability to add those notes to those apps. Is there, I'm over here by the way. It's in a high, you can find me. What about adding some notes for like whitelisted addresses? Something that you can keep up with other than just IP ranges out there? Is that something you consider?
Are you referring to like secure notes? So even more general notes for users to leave secure information behind Okta. That's also something we've been considering. There's no roadmap plans around that right now. But we'd love to talk to you about your use cases because I feel like right now a lot of customers find different ways to solve around that right now.
Do you have any plans in the future to have like an Okta mobile admin app instead of opening up a browser, going to the URL of your instance? I can just open up the app, have my saved instances in there with my instance URL.
Yeah.
Anything like that? Because I tried the mobile app yesterday, logged in as a super admin, but there was nothing there.
Yeah, there's no admin functionality within a mobile app today. This is something that is, I would say, more on a long-term roadmap, nothing in the near term coming for that, but it's something that we're aware of.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, you mentioned self-service password and unlock for users.
Yeah.
Is that going to be restricted to Okta mastered users, or will that also extend to like Ldap and other directories?
Are you referring to Octa Mobile? Yes. Yeah, okay. It will work the same way you currently have it on the web experience. If your users right now are allowed to unlock their password or unlock their accounts or reset their passwords on web, the same functionality will be enabled on mobile.
Hi, with the Okta plugin, maybe this is something that you can explain to us. When our users get new apps, they can't see them in the plugin. They have to log into the web version first so that the plugin will refresh. Is that something that's being worked on? Is that something that's browser related, or is that something that Okta is working on?
Great question. We actually are currently working on that experience. We found a lot of users who use the plugin actually use it as a primary source of dumping into the applications. So yes, we are working on a more native refresh, so users have a better experience when you use that plugin the way they like to use it.
I have a admin portal UI question regarding the coming portal. Will it be possible to have some sort of universal search box where you can look up users and applications easily, like an omnipresent, like a box in the corner somewhere you can always search for people or applications?
Yeah, so the search that I shared and mentioned will be in the header, so global across the admin application, and you can surface it leveraging hotkeys. So any page you're on, anywhere within the admin application, you'll be able to bring up that search.
Thank you.
Hey guys, up the back here. I'm just wondering, with the passwordless experience, right up the back. Hi guys. With the passwordless experience, will that be only available with Okta Verify, or will you also support other multi-factor authentication types? And you mentioned it's imminently coming to early access. When will that be?
Yes, it will be allowed. You can custom set the factors that you want to choose to replace the password experience, that you can make a customization. In terms of when it will be available, we'll be looking at beginning of H2. But there's a security roadmap session later today, which I recommend that you attend if you want to learn more about this.
I had a question about the admin experience, and for groups, is there going to be ability to add a filter to see what the source of the group is? Right now, we mostly author access through Okta groups, but we have groups coming in through Ldap and Google Groups, and if you just hit the expand, we run out of space, so you really have to know what you're searching for.
Yeah, that is not my area. I've definitely heard about that. You can find me afterwards. I'll get your information and pass it along to the right team to follow up with you on that one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any plans on making an RSS feed for the roadmap?
That is not something I've heard of before, but interesting. I'll make a note of that and follow up. So it's not currently on the roadmap, but definitely something that we can consider.
So the user dashboards, when do you going to have the new experience available?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
User dashboards?
Yes.
When is that going to be available, the new updated?
The new update, we're looking at releasing this towards the end of the year.
Towards the end of the year. Yeah. Are you planning to have any customization for themes? Because right now, you have like 6 colors and not going to match my company. So,
yeah.
and can we customize that? Is any roadmap for that?
As part of it, actually, that's a really good question. We've heard that asked a lot from our customers, like more customization, and that is something that we've been considering into how we are building this new dashboard. But it's not going to be the way that you've currently seen it, with just like a color on the nav bar. We're thinking more intuitive, like more user-friendly customizations beyond just that color. So it's coming. If you do have particular ideas or things that you'd like to see, please give us that feedback, and we'll plug that into our consideration.
Thank you.
Has there been any thought of taking the fight to the LastPasses of the world, and where a user goes to log into a website and maybe the plugin can't get the username and password, giving them a secure place to store those themselves?
You're asking the ability for users to be able to add their apps into Okta, like the username and password for other apps?
Correct, manually
That's currently available, actually. And if you allow self-service in your organization, the plugin does ask to add app on the fly once it registers a new sign-in on a new application. So that's currently available.
Okay. What about like adding it manually?
Adding it manually, users can do that on the add app flow when they go to the app catalog as well. We are actually looking at making that experience better with the OIN team to make it more intuitive for our users today. The other question on password managers, I'd love to talk to you after this actually. That's been something we've been exploring on how can we make Okta more seamless for our users and more valuable for users.
Great, thank you.
Over here at the back, is the plugin going to be updated to do better password creation for SWA apps or password resetting for SWA apps, because that's not been working really good in the last years?
Are you talking about the existing feature that suggests password on password pages? I'd love to hear more about your, maybe not now, but like your feedback as to what isn't working so well for you. There is a feature actually in beta which is allowing, right now the feature to change passwords only on change password pages. So we are actually introducing in beta right now the ability to surface that on registration pages as well to help users do the right thing and implement secure passwords easily when they need it.
All right. And the new dashboard, will it be able to add JavaScript to it so that we could add, let's say, a chat widget on it for admins to chat with your end users?
Currently, that's not that's interesting. I haven't heard that before either. But that's really interesting. Like, I would love to talk to you about what your use case is. We've heard some asks around making the notifications engine better for admins to use Octa as a place to communicate with end users. We're still exploring that.
Okay, thanks.
So if you have suggestions, please drop it off on this link.
Are there any plans to combine the Okta mobile app and the Okta Verify app so users don't have two apps?
I want a show of hands. Who would like Okta Mobile and Okta Verify to be one app? Who would like it to stay as two apps? Thank you. We are having this conversation actually in the product team right now. So if you do, please leave your feedback again. We've been thinking about it. We'll be thinking about it, so there's no roadmap commits right now, and there's nothing I can promise right now, but having your feedback will be really helpful for us to better understand like, if this would make it better for your organization.
So as the number of apps and systems that we're getting Okta integrated with has expanded, we've noticed there's a lot of sources that we're getting groups from now that don't have icons coming in from them. Is there plans to address that or give us some capability to put in custom icons or anything like that?
That's a really good question. No roadmap plans right now, but we've been working with the OIN to make app descriptions, and better icons integrated into the Okta experience and thus the end user experience.
Hi, back here. Is there any plan to change the password reset questions? That flow doesn't always work for our users. Some users will skip creating a question and then they'll get locked out, need to reset their password, but they can't. The only way to do it is via the API.
Are you referring to that some users don't submit a security
Correct.
answer?
Yeah.
I think there's a way for you to customize that on your org to make it required, and that might solve your use case.
It is required, but they still somehow are able to bypass it on registration. But I guess really the bigger ask is no one likes security questions. Everyone forgets them. Like, we'd like a way for users to be able to self-password reset without security questions, like a better sort of self-password reset scenario. YubiKeys.
Yeah. So changing the factors that users use when they're needing to reset their account or reset their passwords.
Right.
Right. That is something that we're actually, I think that's coming. In the security track, I would recommend talking to that, like making That's pretty much the core of the whole Okta integration engine, where you can now plug and play different factors into the workflows that you want for your users.
And we have time for one more question, so I will run up.
Right here. Forgive me if this is already addressed, but I think coming back to his LastPass question, we utilize that same platform for administrative password sharing. Do you foresee that, or maybe that's already there on the admin side of admin logins to share with an admin team password? So if one person updates, they all get updated?
Yeah, that's not currently something I'm aware of or on my roadmap, but I can follow up with that afterwards if you want to come find me.
Great.
I have one more question for the audience. How many of you use a password manager like LastPass or 1Password in your organization today? Okay. Is it admin, of you, like, is it admin or IT distributed? Or is it, okay. And how many is like personal, you purchased it for your own, out of your own pocket? Interesting, so it's like a half-half. Cool.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you so much.